Hi everybody and welcome back. Alright, in this video we are going to create a module script that we learned about at the end of our fundamentals, and in that script we're going to create an endless function that will change the color of our tile to a random color. Alright, so to do that, come over to our server script service and click on the plus and then come down and find module script. And we will add this in. Now we'll change the name of our module script to be fun mod script. Alright, and we will name our module over here fun mod. Now besides being fun, it's short for function. Alright, so function module, but fun mod sounds fun. Alright, now like we said in our module, we need to require this module in order for anything in it to run. And so we'll open up our main script, and at the very top of our main script, so even above the comment, we'll put in here funmod equals require, and then game.serverscriptservice.funmod. And that's enough for the funmod to load and for it to do what it's going to do inside. Alright, now outside of the funmod here, we'll create a variable up the top. It's going to be a table of game colors. So local game colors equals, and we'll add some colors. Now, I said earlier that you could pick any colors that you like, and that's fine if you don't want to go with the ones that I'm going to use here. However, just be aware that the project relies on some of these colors. So if you change yours when we get to the other parts that relate to the colors, then you will need to adjust your code accordingly. But we will go with really red, and you can change them after you finish the project once you understand what's going on. So we'll go with really red, and just so you can see them, I'll move down a line at a time. Actually, I'll move this one down as well. Alright, and the next one will be bright green. And we will use new yellow, and the last one will be really blue. Alright, so nice straightforward colors, red, green, yellow and blue. And when you finish this project, you will be able to actually add more colors into the game very easily, and make it even more complicated. But let's stick with these four to begin with. Alright, so if you've got those copied in there, I will move this back up into one line so that it's easier to read for everybody. And this one back up here, and then we'll just move that last bracket back up to the end there as well. So now we've got the colors that we're going to work with. We're going to create a function inside of our functions mod here that will change these endlessly. So remember, we start off with function and then the name of the module that we are in, a dot, and then the name of the function. So change tiles is what we'll call this one. And end. Alright, so inside of here, we've only got one tile at the moment. So obviously we're going to need to change this function a bit later when we have more tiles. But for now, let's create a single variable, and it would be workspace tile for the only tile that exists in the game at the moment. Right, the next couple of lines, we're going to pick a random color from our color table. So pick a random color from the game colors table. So to get a random number, we're going to pick, remember a table has indexes. So this is index 1 for red, 2 for green, etc. So we need to pick a random number from 1 to 4, because we have 4 colors, that we can use as an index to change in the table. So we'll create a variable called random index and equals, and now Roblox Studio has built-in math functions. So you can type math dot And there's a whole bunch of them here that we can make use of, but we just want the one that appears at the top to begin with, which is random. And now if you look at the helper code, it says it wants what's the lowest number and the highest number that you want to pick a number from. So obviously 1 is the lowest index, and then we want to get how many things are in here. So if you remember, to count the items in a table, we can say comma and then just hashtag game colors, and it will count how many colors there are. So later on, if you decide to add more colors in here, this code won't break and you won't have to change it. Okay, so that's a very good thing. Now that we have our index, then we can go about changing our brick color as we would any other time. So tile.brickcolor, all right, will equal brickcolor.new, and where we want to get that from is from the game colors table, and the index that we want to use is the one we just created, so the random index. Okay, so it'll pick a random index which will be attached to a color, and then it will change it. Next, we'll add in a task.wait, and we'll say every 5 seconds we'll make the color change. All right. Now, take a copy of this, of our function, and just below here, paste it in. Now, at the moment, you'll probably work out, well, this will run this once, all right, but we want it to run over and over and over again. So what you can do is actually inside, just after the task.wait, is call the function itself. So when the script loads, all right, remember, a function doesn't do anything, so it's like it's not even there when it loads. All right, I just collapsed it. It loads the function, then it gets to this line and it says, oh, you want to run this function. So it comes up and it runs all this code down to here, and then it calls itself again. And then that will go round and round like a while loop. All right. So when you do this, it has a special name. It's called recursion. All right. So we could put in here calling the function using recursion. There's a little bit more to it in some circumstances, but this will act as a while loop and go round and round. Now there's one little problem with this, in that when you call this function, because it's got a wait inside of it, and then this is constantly attached to whatever's going on, so it's going to pause other things from running. Now to get around that, we can use a special item with task.spawn, all right? And inside this, we'll put an anonymous function with 2 brackets, then just move outside and drop a line. And we're going to simply take this line and put it inside here. Now, when functions or bits of code are run on your computer, they create what is called a thread. So this script, like the main script for example, will run on a thread. And it runs once for the player, so it runs all the way through down to the bottom, and when it's done, the thread is completed. Now, if you have something like this that creates a thread, because it's endless, that thread stays there and doesn't disappear. So when we use task.spawn, this actually takes what we want to call and creates a separate thread of its own that it can run over here, but doesn't interfere with anything else that's going on. So that's why we do it this way. All right, so hopefully you understood that, and come up and click on File and Save, and we will play, and let's see if our tiles will change color by themselves. All right, and there we go. You can see our tiles are changing colors. They're picking random ones. So far it's only been yellow and green. But as it goes round and round, then we should find after a period of time that, there we go, we've got a blue one there. And all right, and you'll notice that if you run on that, our points works, it's still running, okay? And our tiles are still changing colors. So everything is running nicely together. So if you're able to change points and your tiles are changing color, then we are good to go. So let's close our scripts, increase the version number for our project. So come up to and change it to 6, and we're good to go to move on to the next lesson. I'll see you there.